Today's Technical Corner, I'm joined by Paul Enser of ITC, and we've got a number of new products in our 2020 catalogue. It's not a new year unless you release a new catalogue, Paul, is it?
Indeed, yeah. We're up to issue 15 now, believe it or not. So it's 15 years of in the making. It's coming on every year. You know, we keep investing in the catalogue, investing in the machinery, investing in the products. So that's all accumulated into this issue 15. We've updated it slightly. The colour coding is still there for the different materials, so the orange for the aluminium, the blues for the steels and exotics, etc. We've had a slight little change around in there with the colour coding of the general purpose and the Whittier product, because we do carry some of the Whittier products in the back of the catalogue, which follow over from the Slimline catalogue as well. So you've got the VDS drills, etc. in there from Whittier. But more importantly, the updates from ITC, really. In the aluminium range, which has always been a very good range for us, we're now carrying 3 flute, standard and long series aluminium geometry ball noses. Once again, driven by customer demands, people asking us for the product. Good for long pockets, if you can get off centre, so there's more than one flute engaged, so multi-axis machining especially is useful. Another thing that's come to the forefront, obviously in the past sort of couple of years, is jacoidal milling. When people think of jacoidal milling, it tends to be in the steels and exotics, but it's now more popular in aluminiums as well, which creates its own problems with swarf management, etc. So we've taken what was a long edge 3 flute tool that we made previously, and we've basically added a chip breaker.
So that's obviously doing external work, that's great, but more importantly, if you're doing internal pockets, maybe you're going up to radius where it's a similar radius to the diameter, you do need that, don't you?
Yeah.
It prevents tool failure.
The chip breaker is basically breaking up the swarf, so we can get masses of stock removal rate from these tools. And believe it or not, the biggest problem was actually mainly the swarf conveyors within inside the machines, just couldn't handle the length and the volume of the chip. Once we'd sort of put the chip breaker on the 3 flute, and took it out to the marketplace and people were using it, we've then actually developed a 4 flute geometry. Simple sort of programming mathematics would say that the deeper you go, the less the step over because of the loading on the tool and the machine. So if you're going to go to the deeper depths with a smaller step over, perhaps only 4% of your tool diameter, then even on aluminium you can engage 4 flutes without it clogging because of the chip breaker breaking up the swarf as well. So now we've got the 4 flute variety as well. Okay,
so we've obviously got essentially chip breakers within the flute, within the cutting edge. Do we need a finishing cycle after, or is the finish still good enough?
Because the chip breaker form on the tools overlaps one another, the finish is still very, very good. I would always say that if you're going to go through a roughing program, even if it's a trachoidal roughing program, still put a finisher in there afterwards.
Another tool for ITC.
It's always going to help, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
and finally on the end, that's a coating well known to ITC.
Yeah, so inside the range of Cupro coated tools that we've had for a number of years now, the Cupro coating is unique to ourselves, offers great performance across a whole multitude of materials. We've produced this as a 5 fluted tool, then a 6 fluted tool. Then last year we introduced in the 5 flute version, a stub version and a long version.
So obviously stubbier, presumably slightly cheaper, less carbide, but what's the performance advantages? Less standout? What style of machine?
ITC have always produced standard tools which are tends to be slightly longer in the flute, slightly longer overall than a standard, say a DIN standard tool. In most cases, people like that because you can get a better reach, more access. But there are obviously applications where people are paying that little bit more for a longer tool, which they don't actually need. They haven't got the application to use it, or typically if you're on a live head lathe, etc., you can't apply the product. So these new shorter, stubbier versions allow you to actually put a little bit more power through the tool. It's shorter, stubbier, stronger. Also allows you to apply it in live head situations.
Sure. So 3 new products, but for the people who've never had an ITC catalogue before, what else will you find in there?
A whole raft of products really. We go from standard geometry carbide all the way through to dedicated geometry carbide. We deal with various lengths. We can take you from 0.2 millimetre diameter all the way up to 25 mil diameter. either in a standard geometry or dedicated geometries for the different materials that you're looking for.
Okay, so is this available as a PDF online as well?
Yeah, go on to the ITC website. All our catalogues are available to download as PDF, whether that be the ITC or the brands Big Kaiser and Whittier that we also represent. You can download a whole raft of catalogue information in PDF format. Get hold of us, we'll post one out to you. Request a visit from a technical rep. Come and see us at Mac.
There we are, thanks Paul. If you want more information on the 2020 catalogue or any of the new products, speak with ITC or visit their website.